Hey everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's the start of a new year, and you know what that means. It means that it's time to set some goals. But let's be real. How many times have we set goals only to forget them by March? I'm completely guilty of this. But today, what we'll do is that we'll look at how we can actually set realistic goals and how we can actually achieve them. And this is, of course, something that has worked for me. It's something that I implemented in my personal life last year. And so before we dive in, let's clarify something. Setting goals isn't about ambition. It's about strategy. It's great to aim high, but without a plan, even the best of intentions can fall flat. So let's break it down into these 5 simple steps that I've seen have worked for me and of course have worked for others as well. First of all, reflect on last year. Oftentimes we kind of hide from the past, but the reality is you need to look back to know where you want to go. So you start by reflecting on what you worked on and what you didn't work on last year. You need to ask yourself, what did I accomplish? Did I reach my goals? What stopped me from reaching my goals? And when you analyze all of this, you'll have a better understanding of how you can align your priorities. The second one, of course, is being smart about it. I think it's so weird that sometimes we think that our goals need to be complex, but it just needs to be smart, and that's specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and of course, time bound. Because we know that time is everything, time is of the essence, as those always say. And once you use this framework, it should be able to work for you. So, for example, instead of saying, for me, a big part of it is like one of my goals is to save money. So let's say instead of saying, okay, I need to save, let's say $1,000 by March. How about you say, how much can I save per day? And when you break it down into those small goals, then it becomes more achievable. It becomes more realistic because you have a better view of what you want to do, and where you want to go. And so it's extremely important to look at that. Another big part of it is being able to write down your goals. And then, of course, you write them down in order of importance to you. I think oftentimes when we're writing goals, we forget that we need to focus in on what are the key goals. Because if we focus in on everything at once, it tends to overwhelm us. And that's the last thing that we need to do, because we don't want to fill ourselves with too many things that we sell ourselves short. Because oftentimes we spread ourselves too thin and we're not completely able to get our task accomplished. But we should put it in order of A, what will have the biggest impact on our life, and B, which one will bring us the most happiness, because your happiness is what matters. The fourth step, of course, you need to break them down. Everything that you envision, everything that you have in your mind, everything that you want to accomplish, you need to break it down into smaller steps. And this is a big part of it. That I had to do for myself. I had to ask myself, if I do this, will it get me here? And so that's how you have to view it. Big goals can feel extremely intimidating and overwhelming. But when you break them into these smaller and actionable steps, you'll see that it works for you. And you'll see that you begin to see progress. And when you see progress, it becomes extremely addicting. And so break it down into not only monthly targets, but weekly targets and daily targets. I mean, if you want to go as far as putting it by the hour, then that's up to you. But it's important to break these things down. And of course, step 5 is staying flexible and not allowing yourself to get discouraged easily. You're in this for the long haul, so it's extremely important to understand that you need to take your time and be gentle with yourself. Life happens, and sometimes goals just need to be adjusted, and that's completely okay. It doesn't mean that you failed. It doesn't mean that you've given up. It just means that life happened. And so sometimes you need to adapt to the happenings around you. And so none of us will predict how this year will go, but we need to be able to be adaptable rather. And so it's important to check on your goals. That's why you should write them down, so you can go back and check on them and make adjustments where you need to. And of course, my final thoughts while we are here right now, it's the new year, it's 2025, and so let's all welcome this with a spirit of positivity. And so just remember that when we're setting goals, we need to be realistic about the progress and not perfection. I'm so big on this that we need to celebrate the small wins, because the small wins will make the big wins, and then you'll eventually realize that it was the small moments that mattered, the ones that meant the most. And please be gracious on yourself this year. Like, it's okay if you're not as ahead as people around you. Don't look at anyone. It's your journey. It's your life. It's your journey. You know where you want to go, and you know what it takes to get you where you want to go. And so, yeah, thanks for tuning in. If this was helpful for you, if you liked it, be sure to drop a like, subscribe, comment. Let's keep the conversation going. My goal for this year, believe it or not, is to drop a video a day minimum. And so let's see how that goes. I have not been one to be consistent because I have imposter syndrome to the highest degree. And so when I do something, I get so nervous to the point that I can't even listen to my voice over. And so trust me when I say that a lot of times when I release content, I don't necessarily listen to it over and over and over because it gives me anxiety. But I'm trying to overcome that this year. And so, yeah, let's see how this goes. We're all in this journey together. And so, day 1 out of 365. Let's get it.